Love, loss, rejection, triumph, misguided notions about a woman's heart, and the worst rejections we've ever encountered. All that today on the Number 2 Show. Hey, welcome back to the Number 2 Show. I salute the Bowl Patrol, the Poop Patrol, the Booty Bandits. That one sounds bad. I don't know what I'm going to call the fans. We may never settle on anything. The glory holders, who knows? Who knows? Life's crazy. Just as crazy as this show. But I am certainly glad to be here. We're got a great show for you today. So let's get it started off with a segment that I love. It's a recurring segment with my favorite person, my Valentine. 15 Minutes with Rizz. Hello, Scott Rizzuto.
Oh, hello.
Okay. Sorry, he was powered down. I forgot to power you up before.
I was pretending I was frozen.
It kind of worked on me. I was like, uh-oh, what's going on?
Frozen.
That's going to play hard on the YouTube. On the audio, people are going to be like, what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah, no, they probably thought my mic was off. On the YouTube, that'll play good.
Oh.
That's why you should watch this show. Not just listen to it, watch it too.
It's important. It's important to imbibe it with your eyeballs.
Yeah, this is a 3-camera situation over here.
Yeah, dude, if you like what I'm doing to your ear holes, put your eye holes on this.
Dude, your eye holes will be so happy.
All right, set a timer, Rizz, for our 15 minutes.
Here we go. Let's do it.
All right. It's a Valentine's Day episode of
my favorite holiday.
Of the Number 2 Show. Love is in the air, as well as the stench of public toilets. And
you know I'm the romantic type.
You know, I get a sense, that you may not be.
Okay, I don't know how you get that. But
I'm curious if underneath it all, if you have a romantic side. That's kind of what I want to talk about up top, man. It's Valentine's Day. I think the easy way out for guys is always be like, it's a greeting card holiday, blah, blah, blah. And it is, to a degree. But it's still a thing, right? Around your house?
Yeah,
well, you don't have some kind of weird agreement with your significant other, do you?
We really don't do much. My wife's birthday is the week before. So my wife, her birthday is February 7th. Valentine's Day is, February 14th. So exactly a week apart. So I think she would rather me go all out for her birthday and make her feel special on her birthday as opposed to Valentine's Day.
So you kind of get off the hook for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I got it good. But I have to knock the birthday out of the park.
Yeah, what'd you do this year?
Well, it's tradition. She's got to wake up to balloons.
Okay.
So I leave the house first. I'm out of the house at 3 o'clock in the morning. So when she wakes up, she's got balloons on the stairs waiting for her and flowers. Yeah, she had thrown it out once that, when she was a little girl, her dad would always give her balloons.
Ooh.
So
daddy.
I'm continuing that tradition.
I'm
balloons,
your daddy now.
Flowers. Yeah, who's the daddy now?
Rizz is your daddy now, baby girl.
So I think
that's very sweet, actually. See, I knew you had a sweet idea.
So always,
she had to tell you specifically what it was.
And this was but that was a long time ago. I have kept this tradition up, for a very, very long time.
That's very sweet.
And yeah, I go out the day before and I get balloons. I put them in my car and I get the flowers the day before and I make sure everything's all right.
Do the balloons, are they like happy birthday balloons? Do they spell something out?
What's sometimes I'll do, how old are you? Sometimes I'll do just the big happy birthday balloons, whatever. As long as there's an abundance of balloons when she gets up in the morning and she wakes up and she knows the first thing that I've recognized that it is her day of birth and she feels special. And that's what it's all about. It's not even about, and maybe this is for Valentine's Day too. It's not about what you get the person. It's about making that person feel special that day.
That's right. That's right. Now, see, Zane and I, our producer, were just talking. We have the opposite problem. Tino's born on Christmas, and his significant other, Riley, was born on the 29th of December. So we get the old, you don't get off the hook. You don't get to be like, oh, just go all out for my birthday, and Christmas doesn't matter. It definitely matters. You get the double present, but you're getting off the Valentine's Day hook because all ladies get flowers on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
All ladies she's getting it a week early. And so it's like, what are you going to do it 2 weeks in a row? Are you going to do the same thing 2 weeks in? It's like loses its shine, so she's letting you off the hook.
Right. Let me make the one day. In fact, her birthday was last Friday, so I made her feel special the whole weekend. I mean, we went out for a nice dinner on Saturday night with the kids. Even they were good. And she, you know what? Before I went to bed on Sunday, before I laid my head down, she said, "Thanks for making this weekend special."
Wow.
And I said, "Get out of my room."
Oh.
Because I'm ready for bed.
I thought that was going to lead somewhere.
No.
I just want to thank you for making this weekend special.
No.
In the way only a wife can.
No.
And instead it was, get out of my room. I got to be up in a couple of hours.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're sleeping in separate bedrooms currently. Not because of
things aren't going well. We get it.
No, not because of things not going well. We're having some construction done in our house.
Well, I saw you looking at apartments on Zillow, so whatever you say, buddy.
We're having some construction done in the house. We're getting a new master bathroom put in, and we need to vacate.
Ooh, primary bath. Thank you very much.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's 2025. I thought we didn't have to be PC anymore.
Well, sorry, dude. This isn't Rogan's podcast. This is the number 2 show, bud.
The number 1 bathroom and the number 1 bedroom.
Yeah.
So we needed to vacate the number 1 bedroom. So she is sleeping in one room upstairs, and I'm in the basement in my own kind of apartment. Which,
how you loving that? It's kind of sweet.
Loving it, dude. It's been a month now, dude.
Yeah.
The fact that I could say, I'm going to my room.
Yeah.
And it actually being my room, dude, it's so great.
Yeah.
So great. I know, my son had a couple friends over for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And my wife and myself and my daughter were at somewhere else. And I know one of my son's friends was in my room.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got to fight that kid, I think.
And
I think legally you got to beat that kid's ass.
I said to the boy, I go, who was in my room? Who was in my room?
God, I hope it wasn't Tyler.
And he goes, I don't know. I go, somebody was in my room. He goes, how do you know? I said, because I know where everything is and how I left it.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. You're putting a little curly Italian mustache hair in the door to see if anybody opens it while you're gone. I know the game, bro.
I know.
So
I know
who
what
was
to
it?
do. I have no idea.
What are his friends' names? First names, obviously.
I think there's probably a Thatcher and a
not good. You don't want a Thatcher in your room while you're not
there. Caden and a Nolan. I don't know these kids' names.
Hey, I don't like it.
Oh, well, my only warning was
vowels.
My only warning was don't drink my liquor because I know.
Keep liquor in your room?
Don't you?
No,
I have a full bar in my room.
No. Yeah, man. I don't know if it's good to have liquor in your bedroom at night.
Oh, I thought that was normal. I thought when you become an adult, there's just whiskey and glasses just next to the bed. What?
you open the nightstand, it's just full of ice.
No, I said,
honey, would you like
no, in the bar upstairs.
Bourbon?
Said, no, when my son was like, hey, can I have friends over for Super Bowl? I said, yeah, just don't drink my liquor because I know where all the levels are.
Yeah.
I know where every bottle, where all the levels are.
Like secretly, don't you want your son to be cool? Like secretly, do you be like, you kind of want to find, like, he added water to this one. I know what's up. Like, you want to know what's happening? Or are you just like, no, I don't want my son drinking at all?
Oh, I just don't want him drinking my stuff.
Oh, okay, cool. So this is more about your private stock
my private
than child safety.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of very expensive whiskeys.
All right, well, that checks out.
And of course, I don't want him to drink and drive or be in a car with somebody who's drinking and driving.
He's at home.
He was at home.
That's my thing. I always wondered if dads really didn't want kids getting in the liquor, or if they're like upstairs secretly talking to their wife at night. Like, yeah, I think Jeremy might be a nerd. Like, what? He's like, he's 17.
Well,
the liquor bottles have never changed. They're clearly not watered down. He has friends over all the time. I'm starting to think
they're just playing video games downstairs.
Our son may not be cool.
Well, listen, Rafe, you know my son. He's an athlete. He's a jock.
He's a good kid.
Okay, he's a good kid.
He's legitimately a very nice young man.
I would, sometimes I'd like for him to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a varsity hockey player. He goes to the gym every day. He's not on the ice.
And when he's not on meth, when he's not on,
he's very careful about what he eats and his nutrition.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I figured you can throw caution to the wind when you're a jock and you're 15.
No,
you eat ding dongs all day long. Your metabolism's burning like the center of a red dwarf.
No, he's. I need more protein. I need the. Okay, dude, we get it. You got a 6-pack.
I need more protein.
But he's also never said a curse word.
I know. That's a really strange thing. Not strange, I guess.
No, it's strange. He's going to be 16
to cuss in high school. Like, I get it in grade school and stuff, but when I got to high school, I'm like, man, I can't wait to be like, yeah, fuck that teacher.
Well, and the whole thing is, I said this to people, and they go, well, he probably just doesn't curse in front of you. I said, listen, I've offered him money.
I don't think he does. I offered him at your birthday. I was like, hey, for your dad's birthday, will you just tell him to fuck off one time? And I'm like, I'll give you $100 if you just surprise him. And he wouldn't do it.
He won't do it.
The girl was like, I'll do it right now.
Don't ask my daughter. She'll do it for free.
Yeah,
she'll give you money.
Your daughter did not have a pause of any. In fact, she was upset I didn't come to her first.
But no, the boy, I mean, he
stuck to his guns. He said,
I've offered him $200. I said, dude, just say the word fuck.
Bro,
go.
$200?
Wouldn't do it.
Imagine turning that down for anything. As a kid.
I said, it's just stupid. I thought you were smart. I thought you were smart.
More power to him, I guess.
And, people would be like, he probably doesn't curse around you. He'll curse around his friends. And I'd ask his friends, hey, does he have a potty mouth? I'm like, no, it's fine. And they're like, no, man, it's weird.
Yeah. Your son is FCC certified.
Yeah.
Dude. You're such a radio man that you busted one in your wife, and even your sperm was FCC regulated.
Yeah, my sperm was FCC compliant.
Yeah. You're
wild.
The Scott Rizzuto seed is FCC compliant. He can't say it. Like when he tries to cuss, he goes, Gook!
Yeah, he's afraid to get fined. He dumps out.
He's like, 200. You know the fine I could get if I cuss? That's hilarious, dude. You created a child who's FCC compliant, and then apparently your daughter's the podcast because she gives no fucks.
Right.
And they're both quite a blend of you, which is interesting. But it's so. Do they do anything for Valentine's Day? I feel like your son and your daughter are kind of getting to that Valentine's Day age. Are they getting? We dealing with that yet?
They getting
has he come home and been like, "Hey, I need a little cash for a chocolate heart for a special lady at school"?
No, but I don't think. Would you come home and tell your parents about your dalliances in high school?
Well, I mean, I had no money, so I remember one time. I'll be honest, man. I'm kind of a romantic at heart, and it's burned me a lot in the past. I remember like going home in first grade and being like, "Hey, Mom, I got to give this girl Amber a gift. I want her to be my Valentine. I can't just be coming with the Walmart tearaway gummy bear Valentines everybody else is going to drop off at her desk. I need something. I need some capital." And like taking a little crystal thing with a swan in it that it was just like a knick-knack.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
But you think that's your mom's prized possession because you're in first grade? Because you're like, well, she put this in the windowsill above the sink where she washes dishes. This must be the thing that brings her the greatest joy. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, you don't think I could give that to her? And I remember taking it to school and giving it to this girl and her being like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like, it's a swan in glass and crystal.
And you rejected.
I don't think she rejected it. I just think she was puzzled by it.
Oh, I was outright rejected in fourth grade with a Valentine.
Damn.
Outright rejected. Had the courage to...
You segued right into what I wanted to talk about.
Had the courage to give this girl, her name is Michelle Cormier.
Okay.
She had no tear ducts. True story.
Up. We're looking up Michelle Cormier. Go ahead.
No tear ducts.
What do you mean no tear ducts?
I don't know.
She was just born without emotion, or literally she had a condition?
I think she had a condition.
Well, maybe she was super happy and couldn't cry.
She had a condition. I don't know.
She was like, this is the nicest thing anyone's ever done. And she just couldn't cry.
No, but I remember mustering up the courage to get her a Valentine and giving her a card asking if she liked me. And she did not.
No internet. All right. Well,
you don't need internet.
Nah, we're a media company, and I'm doing a podcast.
It's fine.
Why would I need internet?
No, she rejected me.
So what happened? What kind of Valentine we talking? We talking about your typical like?
It was a card. It was your typical.
It was an open card. It wasn't one of the ones that you just like get 26 of them in a pack and you write your classmate's name on it, and then everyone gets their little ballot box.
No, we went to the drugstore.
Okay, you went. This is legit.
We went to the drugstore.
Okay.
And I had my mom buy me a card. We went to the drugstore and I picked out a card. And this was going to be the card for Michelle.
Okay.
And I gave it to her. And she was like, I don't like you that way. Damn, man. I thought I made her laugh. I thought I had it. I thought I was in. Because I made her laugh all the time.
Oh, boy.
Like she used to sit in front of me.
You realized you were just the clown.
I was the clown.
You were the jester, dude.
Mm-hmm.
She was like looking over you and looking at Chet, the strapping. How old were you? Fourth grade?
Fourth grade. So what's, 12? No. What's fourth grade?
God, how dumb were you if you were 12 in fourth grade? What's that? Yeah, I was in fourth grade. I was probably 15 years old.
What's fourth grade?
I had my learner's permit, Michelle. I had a lot going for me in fourth grade.
10 years old?
Yeah. I would think 10, yeah. That sounds right.
She broke my heart.
Michelle Cormier. How do you spell it? Cormier?
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna look and see. There's one that's Michelle Cormier Jones, lives in Nederland, Texas.
She did move away.
She did
move away in the 5th or 6th grade.
Wow. What did she look like? Give me like a...
Oh, God. I mean, let's just...
Describe your little goddess to me.
30 years ago. More.
Did she have brown hair? You don't have to get into detail.
I don't remember detail. I mean...
Dude, you got so traumatized, she's just a blur.
Look up no tear ducts.
Okay. What is a condition with no tear ducts?
I need my eyes lubricated.
The absence of tear ducts, known as lacrimal duct obstruction, is a condition that prevents tears from draining properly from the eyes. Where do they go? Where do they go?
They back up.
Where are your tears?
She had brown hair, I think. Brown or like dirty blonde, maybe.
Did she have like crusty eyes, like a puggle or
anything
like that?
I don't remember that.
Oh, it says eye irritation, redness, crusty eyelids, and eye infections.
Okay, she didn't have eyes. Maybe she got crusty eyes now. I have no idea.
Due to stagnant tears. Damn, you had a girl that had like the little dog, like the little
she was tear, a cutie, if I remember.
Tear stains that dogs get turn you down, man.
10-year-old Rizz, was like
How'd you react? What'd you do, man? Did you just go home?
I was crushed.
Did you go home and tell your mom about it?
No.
What'd you do?
I just stewed in my own sorrow.
Was there like a moment when the classroom was empty and the bell rang and you opened the card and just closed it and threw it in the trash?
Probably.
Damn, dude.
Probably, but that was the first time I was really I really put myself out there.
Michelle Cormier, if you hear this, call 818-532-1420. I want to hear your side of the story. What happened between you and Scott Rizzuto, and Zane just punched himself for pulling up the wrong interstitial. What class was it, Miss Ackerman's?
Miss Ackerson's class, 1988. Bardonia Elementary.
All right, Michelle Cormier, Miss Ackerson's class. What? Say it again.
Bardonia Elementary.
Bardonia Elementary in New York, New York.
Yep.
818-532-1420. Why?
Would love to hear from you.
Would love to hear your side of the story. Were you repulsed?
Why did you reject me?
Why did you reject and imprint such a horrible memory on my friend Scott Rizzuto? We need to know. I think a lot of us would like that. I'm always curious. Do you ever think about
closure?
Yeah, man. Sometimes I think about like other people. My younger self, when I was more selfish, I didn't. When you think you're the main character all the time, there's a lot of stuff I regret and I don't think about. But sometimes I'm like, I wonder what their side. Like you're the villain in other people's stories. That's a hard thing to accept sometimes. Is that like or maybe if it isn't that, like maybe it had nothing to do with you. There's so many narratives in your head that I'm like, I'd love to hear their side of like.
I was a nice boy. I was smart. Funny.
Yeah.
Not your movie star good looks, but I had a unique look to me.
Yeah. I'm sure you were a charismatic guy. Sure. I was always funny, a little lanky, poor.
Lanky, yes.
I smelled weird, I imagine.
Very skinny, gangly, if you would, kind of misproportioned. fine.
Was that your biggest Valentine's Day gamble you ever took?
Yeah, because it turned me off to doing that again.
Is that why you don't like Valentine's Day now?
I hate Valentine's Day. Thanks, Michelle.
Michelle Cormier ruined Valentine's Day for Scott Rizzuto forever. That's a rough one, man. All right, let's hold that thought because we're going to be back after a word from our sponsors with a special Valentine's Day bonus, the very own Valentine's Day gift to me, a bonus 15 minutes with Rizz. Stay tuned. And we're back, and for a very special Valentine's Day gift to me and to you, we're going to have a second segment, never done before, extended cut, 15 more minutes with Rizz. All right, let's pick up where we left off.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How many times have you been rejected?
Oh. Like, define rejection, like just straight up, like
straight
no
up.
thanks. I mean, 100.
Yeah, I would say that for me too.
We lived in a time, you
need to put yourself out there.
Yeah,
there's no
I had
apps
to just ask girls out to their face.
to their face.
And I did not have no one had swiped on me. Like I wasn't like, yeah, I bet Angie Shaw swiped on me. You was no way to know. I remember like I'd call a friend and be like, hey, call so-and-so and see if they'll go out with me, and then get the call.
Like
from
setting
the friend,
things up. You got to set things up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It didn't sound good. Says she's like not looking for anything right now, and I'm like, that's rejection. That's a no. Like if you know the person's single and that's what they're saying. Yeah. In high school or junior high, I remember like asking older girls out too. I had some cojones on me. Like I remember like I had a friend who was a couple years older, and I'd call her and be like, hey, I think so-and-so's smoking hot. Call them up, see if they have any. And I'm like, I'm in junior high and they're in high school. And they're like, who is this dork? No. I went for it a lot. And then in the bars later on in life, I mean, rejection was more like a sales thing. Like it takes 9 no's to get a yes. Yeah. You had to just really run the numbers.
There was a while there I was working on volume.
You almost had to. You had to.
Yeah. Like before I met my wife, and I met my wife when I was 19, 20. So we've been together for a long time.
Yeah, you weren't in the game long.
No.
Before you signed a long-term contract to a franchise. You got franchised early.
Yeah, I started in radio when I was...
I'm more like the Kevin Durant of relationship. I've been traded around the league quite a bit.
I started in radio when I was 18, 19 years old. So I had a good, year and a half, 2-year run before I met my wife.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I had a roommate that was a dog too. So we operated in volume.
Yeah.
It was good. Good time.
Yeah. I've been rejected a ton, and I mean, I've had some monumental rejections. I've told this story maybe on the other show, but I had a girl I liked, and she was dating this girl, great girl. Her name was Dava. She was a sweet gal. Learn actually knows her. It's our connection. Learn had a crush on her older brother. She was from West Frankfort, Illinois, where Learn grew up. This is completely unrelated, but the sister was a girl I was dating. I was like, we were in our teens. I used to drive over there, and she had an ex-boyfriend that she kept going back to, and it was your quintessential shithead boyfriend. You had to pluck this guy from Central Casting, like tan, puka shell necklace, treated her like dirt, cheated on her all the time, drove a flare side Ford Ranger Sport with like the little, that looks like the paper cups from the 90s, like the little wiggly paint line down the side. And he had vanity plates that said Nate Dogs with a Z.
Oh, God.
And he had like a chain around his plate, like a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a Ghost Rider.
I know
chain.
what you mean, yeah.
She kept going back to this dude, and I was like, and I was kind of like, we were dating, and she worked at a video store, and it was awesome, dude. She worked at like a family video or something in West Frankfort, and we'd always be, I was a movie guy, and she liked movies, and she'd bring movies home, we'd hang out. Great gal. And I was just like, oh man, I got to win this girl over, like I got to get her away from this guy, because I was like, we were kind of casually dating, but I wanted her to be my long-term girlfriend, and her favorite, movie was, she liked this movie called Message in a Bottle with Kevin Costner and Robin Wright Penn. Mm-hmm. And the movie won all the Razzies. It was not a great movie, but it was about a Kevin Costner's a guy whose ex-wife died, and he throws a message in a bottle in the ocean every night, a love letter to his wife. And then Robin Wright Penn is a journalist someone's found these letters. They've washed up, and she's trying to find the man who wrote these romantical letters. And they fall in love. And she goes, and he's not over his ex-wife. And then, I don't know. It was like a Nicholas Sparks movie. And I'm like, I know what I'll do. I need a grand gesture because, that's what girls like, because that's every 90s movie. Like, we got
John
trained.
Cusack can say say anything with the boombox and in your eyes.
Now we're up. Your eyes, the light, the heat in your eyes. Was his name Lloyd Dobler in that movie?
I think so.
Anyway. Yeah. 10 Things I Hate About You. Keith Ledger's like, I love you, baby. Everything is about these big grand gestures. I'm like, that's what girls like, right? So I had my aunt go get, I think it was a bottle of Boone's Farm or something. She went and bought a liquor bottle or a wine bottle or something. We peeled off the label, and I wrote her like a nice little love letter, like a nice little, hey, I'd like for, this is what you mean to me, blah, blah, blah. And it was like on some kind of wax paper, and I took like a lighter and I burned the edges so it looked like a treasure map or whatever, like an old letter. And I was like, you're crushing it right now, homie. Rolled it up, put a little twine around it, put it in a bottle, put a cork on it, and I'm like, I'm going to go take this to her. I'm going to surprise her. I'm just going to leave it for her.
Yeah.
Drive across. This is probably right around Valentine's Day. Drive to the next town over, dude. Pull in the driveway, feeling good about my little message in the bottle, about to charm my way into her heart. And parked in the driveway. There's a Ford Ranger, flare sides. Nate Dogs with a Z.
There.
Homeboy's there, knocking the bottom out of it as I pull in. And I'm like, well, you know what? That should have been enough.
Yeah, but you know what, though? You're going to shoot your shot. This is your John Cusack moment.
Dude, I needed somebody there to talk me out of this. And I
would have talked you out of it.
You would have. I needed you because you've been like, this happened to me in 4th grade.
I would have said to you,
don't do it.
The boyfriend's here. This is not the time. This is not the time for your grand gesture. This is not going to go well, Rafe.
Yes, and I needed that so badly. But I did not have a friend with me. What I did have was a big old heart and a country boy's sense of justice.
And you're going to shoot your shot.
And I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to leave it all on the field. And I go up and I get out of my truck and I go knock on the door. She answers, closes the door immediately. She's like, hold on. Knock again. Nothing. Knock again. I hear some jostling. Knock again. Dad answers. And her dad's like, what's going on here? And I was like, I just needed to talk to David real quick. And he's like, she's kind of busy right now, bud. Why don't you come back later? And I was like, all right. Well, which was also where it should have ended.
Right.
And I was like, well, what'd you give her this for?
Oh, message
in
the
goes,
bottle.
what the hell is, he just goes, this guy's wearing a robe. He's like, what the hell is that? And I go, well, it's a message in a bottle. It's your favorite movie. And it's just something I did.
God, no.
And he goes, and the dad goes, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, man, it's so embarrassing. And he's just like, oh, boy, here we go. He goes, and he was like, this guy was like real stern with me. And he goes, go sit on the tailgate of your truck. I'll be right out. He goes, go out in the driveway. Wait 5 minutes. I'll be out there. And I'm like, oh, man, their dad's going to yell at me for like coming to their house. Like I overstepped some kind of boundary. Dad comes out. Now he's got on clothes. Pops the tailgate of his truck. And he goes, sit down. I go, yes, sir. I'm trying to be like Mr. Impress the parents. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, your future wife is in there.
Oh yes, my future wife was in there, and
he's going to be your
father-in-law. I could stop at nothing. So this is going to be a great story for the grandkids. And he goes, look, what's this thing here? And I go, it's a message in a bottle. And he goes, all right. He goes, look, kid, because I had met him a few times. Like we had. He goes, I imagined like this big Hollywood moment, right? Because we watch movies, and I'm like, here's the Hollywood moment. I show up, boom, here I am, messaging. It's a message in a bottle. Like she's gonna be like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Nate, fuck you, get out of here. So I'm sitting there, and the dad goes, you want a beer? And he cracks a Coors Light. He gives me a Coors Light, and I'm like, all right, this is a test. And I was like, I don't really drink. And he goes, don't. You're drinking. He's like, you don't drink two. You're not going to slam the whole thing. You're going to have a couple drinks of a beer. And he lit a cigar, And he like offered me one, and I think I lit one up, and I almost threw up from it. And he's like, look, kid, I can't stand Nate. I hate his fucking guts. He treats my daughter like shit, and every time he comes into my house, I think about strangling him until the life leaves his eyes. I go, Jesus Christ. I go, okay. And he goes, you're a good kid, man. You seem like a good guy. You wear your heart on your sleeve. That's an admirable thing. But teenage girls are teenage girls, my man. And he's just like, something you got to learn, bud, is a woman's heart isn't a prize to be won like at the county fair. You're not doing ring toss here, and then you get to walk away with the prize. It don't work like that. You got to put in time. It's got to be chemistry and feelings. And unfortunately for you, Nate's put in the time. He's got a stranglehold on her. One day, a guy like you is going to be the guy she's looking for. But today ain't that day. And he's like, if it were up to me, I'd choose you. I was like, holy shit. Man. That's such a good line, dude. And I go, and he taught me a valuable lesson about, like, the way I saw women. There was a lesson there about, like, oh, yeah, a woman's just a person. And, like, you have to, like.
Hey, where's the message in the bottle?
It's sitting beside us. We're going to get to that here in a sec. So he goes, if it were up to me, I'd choose you. And I'm like, that's the line. That's the Hollywood. I'm having the Hollywood moment, but not with the girl. I'm having it with their dad. And I'm like, do you know how pathetic and sad your attempt at romance is if you're getting a pep talk in the driveway, not from your dad, from the girl's dad, from another person's dad who's like, this kid needs some guidance. And he's like, I'd choose you. But unfortunately, that's not the way it works. It's up to her. For now, she's chosen Nate. So I think you just got to cut your losses, bud, and move on. And I'm like, which should have been the end. Again. And I go, all right, you're right. I'm sorry. He was like, I'm going to get out of here. But you mind honestly giving this to her? I tried to give him the bottle again, and he goes, fine. Takes the bottle. I drive away. Now, I've told this story before, not a long time. And 20 years goes by. I'm still friendly with her. Like, we're friends on Facebook and stuff. I told this story on the Moth podcast. And I was like, I kind of want some closure, like you were talking about. Like, closure we want. 818-532-1420. Michelle Cormier, call sometime.
Yeah.
818-532-1420. Michelle Cormier, you ruined Valentine's Day for my friend. I want to know your side of the story. But I messaged her on Facebook, dude, because this dad had already done me a solid. He sat me down. He gave me a good life lesson about, he was nice to me. He gave me a good life lesson about how to treat, love interests and women in general. It's like, women aren't prizes to be won. They're people. And there has to be timing and chemistry and all these other things. And I'm like, and he's like, but just keep your romantic heart. He's like, that's a good thing. And he's like, but also know when to cut your losses. So he's already given me all this, more than I could ask for. And I message her online and I go, hey, you remember back when we used to date? And she goes, yeah, you were such a sweet guy. She's like, I was an idiot. I hanging out with that Nate guy. You were such a sweet guy. She's like, I don't know what I was thinking back then. And she's like, young girls are stupid. And she's like, you were always the sweetest. And my dad loved you. Yeah, he did. Hell yeah.
Should have gone with his dad.
I was a son you never had.
Dad.
And I was like, speaking of your dad, because I wanted to know what the letter said. I couldn't remember what I wrote. And I go, you remember when I gave you that message in a bottle? And I left it with your dad. I'm like, do you remember any of the contents of the note that I left inside? And she responded, what message, what bottle? And I was like, that mother fudger what a great dad. He took that bottle, and when I drove away, he probably smashed it and threw it in the trash. Like,
Saved
he never,
you. Saved you.
Saved me the embarrassment of her reading that and being like, what a dork. Or Nate Dogg getting to see it.
Or, yeah, she probably would have read it in front of Nate.
Yeah.
And they all would have laughed at your expense.
Probably, yes. Or it would have worked. We never will know. We never will know for sure. But I was like, dude, 20 years later, that guy did me a solid. And then convergence of crazy circumstance, years later, that man would end up being my first sergeant in my National Guard unit.
Whoa. Thank God I didn't see the letter. Thank God.
Not Nate. The dad. The dad ended up being the first sergeant. I ended up answering to him for 6 years of my life.
No, Nate's dead.
Yeah, Nate's in prison now.
Nate's in prison. Yeah. Hey, next Valentine's Day, remind me to tell you about my girlfriend before my wife, who broke up with me and said she was a lesbian, and she wasn't.
Whoa.
Well, no, I can't. We'll do it next thing. We'll do it next to Valentine's Day.
Oh, I'm not going to remember that.
My time is up.
Oh, we need an extended cut.
I gave you way more than 15 minutes. See you tomorrow.
All right, see you. Well, what a cliffhanger.
Bye, guys.
She wasn't a lesbo. She just didn't like Rizzuto. All right, well, he's gone, and that's the end of the Valentine's Day segment. I like to call 15 minutes in heaven with Rizz. And we are back. Guys, what a crazy episode. We got a bonus 15 minutes with Rizz, a full episode with me and Rizz, and what a treat it was. Man, we ran the gauntlet of love, life, and loss. Everything from how our kids handle it to our first Valentine's Day. My God, if you are Michelle Cormier, or you know Michelle Cormier, 818-532-1420, we need to hear her side of the fourth grade story. A woman born without tear ducts. Maybe she just couldn't accept the Valentine because she couldn't process her emotions. We don't know. Rizz took it personal. We certainly had my worst rejection on record, and we found out a lot about kids, life, marriage, love, loss. It was an amore episode of the number 2 show. And if you love it, I hope you do love it, and I hope that you'll continue to watch it. And I wish all of you a happy Valentine's Day. Whether you have a partner or don't have a partner, I, Rafe Williams, host of the number 2 show, will be your ad hoc Valentine. Go out, treat yourself. Buy yourself some chocolate-covered strawberries. Whatever. Buy yourself a little lingerie. And just take it off in front of the mirror. Love yourself, because you can't love anybody until you learn to love yourself. And I think we learned that, if nothing else, today. So, speaking of love, if you love this show, be sure to like and subscribe, okay? And share and leave a positive review on Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to podcasts. I know it's cliche, but it's just like love. People say, when you know, you know. And I tell you, it's true. So if you know you love this show, you got to share it, because I'm in a genre all by myself, okay? I'm a guy doing a talk show and a podcast from a toilet. There's no other genre to throw me in with other than comedy, which is pretty broad. I don't do true crime, okay? This ain't a sports podcast. I'm doing the Lord's work from the throne. And if you like it and you enjoy it, you got to share it with other people, help me grow the audience so I can continue to do it. I love hanging out with you guys. We'll be back next week with a great episode. Until then, like, subscribe, share, all that jazz. I'm Rafe Williams. I'm the host of the number 2 show, and always wipe front to back and get it real clean for Valentine's Day. See you next time.